Hey everyone, Mr. Devil here, Kenny Danico, 3-time Stanley Cup champion of the New Jersey Devils, and you're listening to the Uncle Puckers New Jersey Devils podcast. Let's go Devils!
So it's been a couple of days since we've been here, boys. How's everybody, first of all? Tim, how's your head?
I hurt myself.
Yeah, you did. You look really silly, so maybe explain to the audience what your dumbass did.
Well, for all of my majestic athletic ability, I'm also equally as clumsy. It's just a thing. I've been fucking clumsy my whole life. So I've been laying down, pouring some concrete because I'm putting in a new staircase in our barn. And it's at a different angle. The riser's at a different angle, so I had to raise it up a little bit at the base. And I have to go up like a little ramp with a wheelbarrow. I had a thing full of... It's a 3-wheeled device with a yeah, I know.
Is it 3 wheels?
3 wheels, yes. And it was full of wet concrete. It was a little heavier than I thought, and was coming back down the hill, and it caught me by surprise. Stumbled a couple steps back, and yeah, that's one wheel. Who said 3 wheels? What a fucking
Some of them have 2 in the front for the big ones.
3 wheels.
Yeah, what the hell are you using?
I don't know, man.
Are you driving a quad?
So it came down this ramp a little bit, pushed me back, and I just clipped my foot on 2 bags of concrete that were on the ground. Fell backwards like a cartoon, hit my head on a dolly. Now a dolly, guys, is a metal device with 2 wheels.
With 8 wheels.
You don't have any video of this, do you, Tim? I'm sure.
No. But like, I came very... Like I was saying before, like I came very close to like a very horrific Final Destination style death.
We're glad you're still with us.
You are very lucky to have me still. Playing hurt, you know, kind of a hero. So
nobody wants to write those recaps.
That's where we're saying, yeah.
Thank you.
You know, when I was lying on the ground, I was like, all right. I was like, my head hurts. I can feel my fingers, feel my toes. I can move stuff. All right. You know, I did the inventory, and then I kind of picked my head up a little bit, and there's just a pool of blood underneath my head. And I was like, that's not fucking good.
That's a 4-minute minor.
So then, you know, went to the hospital, flirted with a couple of nurses.
Not minors.
The doctor, you know, because I got staples back there. It's right here in the back. So I got staples, and the doctor was like, well, I can numb you up, or you could be a man about it. And I was like, oh, come on. I was really hoping for some nummies, maybe some good drugs, you know, get something out of this. But no, I was like, all right, well, now I'm going to have to be a man about this. And getting staples in your head isn't very comfortable, but you know, I toughed it out. Also got a tetanus shot because the thing that I hit my head on was pretty rusty. So it's an all-around adventure. Then on the way back from the hospital, got rear-ended by some kid without a driver's license. So yeah, a lot.
A hell of a day.
A lot happened. Yeah, it's just, you know, adventures of
Tim. Put the Devils logo on your thing if you want.
I have to change this. I have to change this every day. I slept like shit last night because apparently the back of your head is a very important place in terms of pillow placement. So,
so Tony, does the back of his head look the same as it always does? Or?
It looks the same. His head is still good to me.
Yeah, you can see the delicious tuft of hair that I still have.
I saw the pictures you put in yesterday. It was pretty. 1 minute we're all joking around. Next minute you're down.
Yeah.
It's quite the
Hey, DJ, what's up? DJ jumped on with us.
Hey, what's up?
We're live, by the way, guys.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it's easier than just posting it.
I shouldn't be allowed outside. My brother, who I live with, he's like, you are a fucking klutz. You got to stop. Because I fell off a ladder like 6 months ago in our pool house. Like, I'm literally like the clumsiest motherfucker alive. I shouldn't be allowed outside.
We were joking via text that rural Maryland is no place for Tim. He's safer in the big city.
Literally. You know, I used to take the 1 train from Riverdale in the Bronx all the way down to the World Trade Center. Saw some shit, but like was perfectly fine doing that. I lived down here for a year and almost killed myself like 3 times. And but I do know how to use power tools now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that'll get you far. You know, maybe not you, but normal people.
Yeah, no. We have an incident every day out here. You know, like my brother's using a chainsaw cutting down trees right now, and he
no concussion protocol.
He turned it on its side accidentally, and like some oil, like the the fuel leaked out and like down his leg, and it's kind of cold and wet, and he was like, "Oh fuck," because when you're using a chainsaw, you're kind of like you don't really notice necessarily when you cut yourself. So he's like, "Oh shit,"
Yeah,
and he's
that's
like,
not
"Oh,
good.
thank God it was a fuel," but now he's been smelling like fuel for like 3 days.
So DJ just wrote the accident on the way back is just so brutal, and I'm guessing you're talking about the one on Friday night, DJ.
Yeah,
In Tom's River. So not Tim's little rear ending that he got from Tony.
honestly, yeah, in the context of me complaining about that, yeah, that was an unbelievably horrible thing.
Your story is a funny story to share, and we laugh and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this happened. Shit, about half a mile from my house. I know my son knows the kids that were driving the car. 4 people on their way back from the Winnipeg game were crossing the road, and it was a terrible accident. 2 people are dead, 2 are in critical condition. We did post a link on our X account for anybody to go on for the GoFundMe. This is part of a Devils community here. We did lose people, and it's terrible, and more terrible because it's locals, and the town's pretty, pretty saddened by this whole event. So again, anybody wants to go on X, please give a little bit to the family, of $5, $10, whatever the hell you could afford, just to help them out. So we'll start with that, and now we'll move on to more optimistic, fun things. So I guess, we always do these shows before games, and we always end up talking about what's going to happen in these games. And 99% of the time, our fans listen, the listeners listen after the game, and we are then shown to be complete and total morons because we never get it right.
I always think that.
So I think that's what's going to happen tonight. But before we get into the Columbus game tonight, the Flyer game. So I'm curious, you guys, what you guys thought of that game. We'll go around the horn. We'll go Tony, Bob, Tim, and Tone. What did you think of the Flyer game? I know you watched it.
It was great. We needed the win, obviously. It was weird. It was a certain point. I was like, man, this game could go either way, but then, Tim, what did you predict for the goal in that one? Did you predict Glass, or was it Sprung?
No, Sprung.
Sprung. Okay.
It was Sprung.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not playing tonight too, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, but every win's going to be important. Obviously, it's kind of nerve-wracking. I was telling my wife the other night, I was like, every game is like the playoffs now for this team, kind of. I don't even know what we're made of. Like, I actually don't know. Like, I don't know what to expect one night to another. I don't know what to expect tonight. Columbus is going to be tough. That's the whole thing is, like, I don't feel like I know what this team is really, personally. So it's like each game is kind of like a throw it up in the air and see what happens.
I think that's a fair assessment. How about you, B?
Listen, I was very encouraged by it. Forget about who you're playing in the standings or what you want to say about the teams. There's a team that plays us well, beat us twice already. It was really great to see what happens to a team when you get others scoring, or I should say anybody scoring. It really changed a team. But more importantly, I saw a lot of like second effort type of shit in that game. Like I saw a lot of no quit, just the right attitude, like the right way to play hockey. So in that regard, I'm very optimistic because that's the type of stuff, regardless of skill or whether or not the puck's going in the net all the time, that you can control. You can control how you approach the game, how you play the game, and all the effort that you put in. So if the team does that, I think everything else is going to fall into place.
Timmy.
Yeah, agree with both. It was a nice, solid, sound win. They did a really good job and kind of got back, I think, a little bit to that defensive structure that was so successful in December, limiting shots to the outside, really kind of collapsing down really well in the zone. And one thing that I've noticed they've really gotten back to over the past maybe 4 or 5 games, the results have been mixed bag, but over the past 4 or 5 games, they've really defensively stepped up their game and been really quick to guys, like Bobby was saying, the second efforts, clearing pucks out. Allen, one of his flaws is he does kind of kick out some pretty big rebounds, and we were getting those pucks out, clearing them out immediately. Like they weren't getting any sort of second, third chances, and that's going to be a huge thing against Columbus, who that's their bread and butter is finishing off second and third chances. But it was a really nice sound game. It's something to build on. I get it. It was the Flyers. Maybe we'll get a little bit of new guy bump. I liked what I saw from Glass and Sprong. Really gave kind of some more depth and life to this lineup. They both played pretty well. But again, we're still one line reliant. They were the only line that scored. We need multiple lines and multiple people to come forward. The fourth line actually played pretty well. I know people could bash in a lot of shit. Like, he was pretty engaged on the forecheck, was keeping the puck down low. And that's what you want to see, is the kind of connectivity between shifts. Is, Bastian's line and Lazar, they keep the puck in the offensive zone, keep it down low, and then get a shift change, and then the next line comes on, and then they kind of keep that momentum up, keep that rotation in, keep the pressure on. So I'd like to see more of that. We can talk about the lineup decisions when we get to the Columbus game, but really liked what I saw from the Flyers. Again, it was Philadelphia. It was an afternoon game. Relative to the last afternoon game against Philadelphia, I think it was a major step. They have this season in their hands. They just need to fucking bring it, step up and bring it, and hopefully we'll see that.
Yeah, they control their own destiny, and as in any sport, in this stage of a season, late in the season, that's all you can ask for, is to control your own destiny, and they absolutely do. All they have to do is finish games. I liked the Flyer game, especially being a 1:00 start, a road game. I thought they played very well. I can't help but constantly think, like, holy shit, man, if these moves were made earlier and Jack was still healthy, maybe we have a team that can do some damage. But again, it wasn't. This is what we have. I'm just not sold yet. It's like, you've got to put it together for longer than this. I don't trust, one good game. We've seen it a million times all season long. One good game followed by a stinker. Now, if they're going to follow suit, then tonight will be the stinker against a team that's 4 points behind you. This is as big of a game. And I wrote it in the description here. I'll say this is the biggest game that they've played since Game 7 of the Ranger series. And
Chris, can I say one more
ago.
thing about when you're done with
course.
the last
ahead.
topic is with that? The one thing that, and I don't like feeling like this, when I was watching the day, even against the Flyers, man, I started thinking, okay, playoffs. I started thinking of the talent the other teams have, and again with the trade deadline. I know we bitched about it the last show, but I'm not sold. It sucks. I mean, I want to be sold. I'm going to root for them every game. I mean, I'm hoping for. I just can't picture this lineup competing with some of these teams in the playoffs. Because I just think that we didn't do enough. I mean,
I think
that's
there's
the
a
only thing
lot
that
of
sucks.
I think there's a lot of truth to that, and I think it does remain to be seen if they can adopt this new style that they're going to have to adopt if they're going to do anything, which is, lock it down
Hopefully I'm wrong.
defensively. Don't give up a lot of chances. Don't give anything up big in the middle. And when you have your opportunities, you capitalize. Even in the Flyer game, 2 posts, how many shots went wide over the net? Like, we got to start hitting the mark, and getting pucks on net. Columbus is a really, really good team. I don't think Columbus is going to be able, or shouldn't be able, to have the success that they had against us, like they had against the Rangers at the Garden the other night. Like, I watched that game. Like, the Blue Jackets aren't going to be wide open, untouched in the slot for 4 fucking goals like the Rangers let them. I just don't. I mean, we of course can play that badly, but we usually don't. I do think that if this team kind of takes this identity and runs with it, and they start to play really, they kind of adopt that as this is who we are. It's going to be a grinding game, no matter what. It's going to be a low scoring affair, and we're going to come out on top. And maybe they can. You're looking at holding this position, playing the Hurricanes. I think we can give the Hurricanes a series. Now, I don't know what happens after that, but more importantly, what happens tonight, I think, is going to tell us everything of what we need to know. If Columbus comes in and smokes us, there's no chance. Now you're 2 points back. You still have another game with them. Your confidence is shot. You're missing a shitload of players. This game is so important on so many levels. It's not just the points. It's the psyche of this team. If they fucking blow it, I think it could just be downhill the rest of the way.
Yeah, and we were talking about leadership last game, and
Yeah.
really one thing I really liked that I saw from Nico in particular against Philly was kind of that, his body language can be leave a little bit to be desired. He has a kind of resting sad face and shit like that, but he was kind of a menace against the Flyers, and I'd love to see that a little bit more from him, and really kind of embrace that type of role. Like Brink came after him, and Nico just fucking bare bodied him into the boards, and then was just laughing like a fucking maniac after that. It's like that's what I'd like to say.
He woke up Sunday morning and he chose violence, and he should choose violence every day from here on out. Yeah. He really should, because I agree with you. We don't see that from him a lot. Yeah. Timo had a huge hit in that game. Dylan had a big hit. Nason had a big hit early on the first period. And when they play physical early on, they can tend to set the tone a little bit. We've seen it before, but they don't do it enough. Like,
they didn't let the Flyers take us out of the game either.
Exactly.
Trying to start everything. We kind of kept it under control, because you could tell right away, even before the game started, the Flyers were already starting to.
Yeah, Delorier wanted to go. Yeah. He wanted to
anybody.
Go, and
that look on Nico's face and the way that the team was playing, it really had that kind of vibe with, like, it doesn't matter what you do, you're not getting in this game, you're not winning this game. Like, it felt like something you would see in a playoff round to, like, set the tone.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say I didn't get nerves a little bit when we started, like, not piling in a few more goals, and I'm counting in my head the 2 posts we hit. I'm like, they're 1 goal away from making it a 1-goal game. I mean, I was starting to get a little worried, but at the forefront, just seeing that kind of attitude, particularly from Hischier, it really did make me feel like the Devils were like, no, you're not taking this one from us. We need this one. And I hope to see that again tonight.
Yeah, that goal against was literally the only real severe breakdown I think I saw from the Devils the entire game. And it's just that pair just got a little bit flat-footed. They can clean that up a little bit. I think it was Dumoulin and Kovacevic were on the ice. They could just clean that up just a little bit. They did such a good job keeping guys at the outside, and that's just what they need to do.
Jake Allen had another great game.
Allen's unbelievable. He's been the best backup in the league now. I think he's surpassed DeSmith. Like, that goal save above expected number that is often kind of referred to as, like, has kind of surpassed a lot of different goalie statistics. He's now 6th in the league in that, and everybody above him, and it's a cumulative stat. It's not like a percentage or anything like that.
Right.
He's 6th in the league, and everybody above him, it's like Logan Thompson, Hellebuck, like all of the starters that have 40, 50 games started, and he only has 24 games started. So he has half the amount of games started in the same amount. I don't know what that says for our defense giving up high-end chances, but still, it's pretty encouraging to see. But like Chris said, we need them to string it together. We need them to come out with that same intensity, and we need to see it in the first period. I saw a stat the other day that with the lead after the first period, they're 17-1-1.
Wow.
So they really need to jump out to that early lead and keep that in moving into the second period.
But could never win back-to-back. That's the problem.
When's the last time we did win back-to-back? That's the question.
November? What was it? January, November?
Yeah. Maybe even back to December. I don't know. But it's
been what, Bobby?
What's the number going around, Tim? I'm pretty sure you saw it too, about the ease of schedule and our rank in that. It was really in our favor. I mean, you got to win the games, but we did have kind of a gauntlet to go through, and now we're going to get a little bit of reprieve on the back end. Should we?
And a lot of home games.
A lot of home games. They've been actually a lot better at home too. Yeah, that gauntlet they went through, they obviously failed that pretty miserably, but now it's the time to beat up on the bad teams, and they've struggled with doing that, but they need to do that. Not saying Columbus is a bad team by any means, but like this is a real opportunity to kind of put some breathing room and just make things easier on yourself. Just don't make it hard on yourself.
Well, that's
and I feel like the Devils
seems huge. Go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say, I feel like the one thing that I don't know if you guys saw Holla the other day, got into it with one of the reporters.
Yeah, he got
but there is like a pressure. You could tell there's like some kind of pressure going on in that locker room, maybe, where these guys are starting to feel it. Where like, but you saw that with him because he kept his. I'm not saying that the reporter. I don't know. I mean, he has been. We all know that this season has been a really rough season.
I don't know how hard he was on Holla on social that pissed Holla off, but it was to think that there was just one guy.
Whatever.
There was just one guy saying, yeah. I mean,
it's Daniel Mo. He's not the only one saying, like,
no.
Jesus, if Eric Holla listened to us or read some of the shit that I published about him, like, I wouldn't be. I'd have a restraining order against me at the fucking round. Like,
but it was nice seeing him net that goal. At least, that line looked pretty decent. And, I do want to talk a little bit about the lineup. But first, this NHL season has been as predictable as a puck rolling on its edge. No one knows where it's going, but that just means there's time for your favorite team to figure things out and games left for you to get on the action at DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, visit dkng.co/audio. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. NHL and NHL team marks are the property of the NHL and its teams. That's DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Last time we played Columbus, Merzlikins played ridiculous. Shut us out to the point, if you guys remember that game, he was gassed at the end of the third period. I mean, this guy was hanging on his crossbar like Rocky on the friggin' in the 15th round. He had nothing left, but he stole that game, and Devils played great. They just couldn't get anything by him. So that makes me very nervous about today. Just watching this Columbus team, they remind me so much of the Devils of 2 years ago. They're fast. They score at will. Their defense is constantly in on the offense. And they have good goaltending. This is, I don't know what you guys are expecting for tonight, but
Emotionally driven too.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Like they feel like they have a shot and they should be at the dance. And for all intents and purposes, they should be. I mean, they've played great this year, but get in on the wild card. Don't come take our 3 spot. I like, that's
exactly.
Like,
that's it. It's just like, all right, we want you guys in. Cool, get in. But not at our expense.
Go play Toronto or Florida, whoever wins the Atlantic, and deal with that in the first round, right?
Good job kicking this shit out of the Rangers, but don't come near us.
Man, I watched that game, and Columbus looked really good, but my goodness, the Rangers just look like a team that gave up. And thank God we don't look like that. We look like a discombobulated team a lot of times. We look like a team that just doesn't know which end is up sometimes. But giving up, we really don't have that too much. They look like they just gave up.
They didn't fix any of their problems, really.
No, they didn't.
They swapped Lindgren for DeHaan. Like, that's a marginal upgrade. Fox is dead. K'Andre Miller has like moments where you're like, oh my God, this guy's going to win a Norris Trophy. And then he has moments like, oh my God, this guy should be a bagger at Target. And there's no in between. It's unbelievable. And then Igor and Quick, like sometimes they'll save anything that comes at them. And sometimes it's like, oopsie, that one got by me.
Look, when you're a goalie for the Rangers, like you cannot have an off game. It's that simple. There's no chance of winning if you have an off game. So these guys are like going out there with their stress levels through the roof, knowing they have to make every stop. And every stop is going to be some high danger bullshit that they got to try and pull off. But another thing with the Rangers, like you look at the people that they moved off of this year, those were true leaders in that dressing room. Lindgren, Trouba, like you getting rid of a lot of those pieces that kind of helped keep that team together. And I think it's natural that they would kind of unwind and fall apart like this, so it's nice to see. I just hope we don't do the same.
Right. Yeah. We gave ourselves a lot, they dug themselves a pretty bad hole early in the year, and they've been clawing back, and we did the opposite. We gave ourselves a pretty nice cushion early in the year, and we've been floundering around. I really hope the Devils just figure it out and just play good hockey through the playoffs, stay in this third spot, challenge for second. I think Carolina's put a little bit of breathing room between us. I still, to deep down in my core, I believe we're going to fit in this third spot, and we're going to give Carolina a tough matchup in that first round of playoffs.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think at all that without Jack in this lineup now, that a lot more, do you think that these guys are now like, in other words, like there was a lot of times I believe that you can just sit back and say, let Jack do it. You know, Jack will take care of it. Jack's line will do it. Jack and Jesper, blah, blah, blah. Now it's okay. We really have to step up here. A lot of these guys, I think, were insulated by Jack and you're not anymore. Now, does it become more of a cohesive unit now? Not saying that it wasn't without Jack. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying more of just a straight up 12 forward, 6D, true team playing as one kind of thing without that one superstar, because we don't have it now. Like, is that something that you think can help this team, or no matter what, without Jack, we're not going far? Like, what do you think, Bobby?
Well, listen, I think it can, just because if you can simplify your game and get everybody structured with the same kind of buy-in and know that your opportunities will come, because it's a game of mistakes. The only problem I have is that you then need to capitalize on those mistakes. And that's part of the issue that we're having now with the offense drying up. But if you literally can get the group all playing in a similar style, and focusing more on, the straight north and south, and playing good defense, which we've done all year. I don't see any reason why we're not going to do that, why we're not going to have the goaltending. If you can just become more opportunistic and lock it down, I think it could actually help them in some ways, for a lot of the games. Not all. There's going to be times where we absolutely need and will miss the flash that Jack brings, how he will draw people to him. But we don't have that. So they need to get over that real quick and just figure it out. Like you said, just to a man. You still got to have your top guys, have to still be your top guys. I'm not saying everyone's going to play like a third liner. They got to score, they got to step up. But that kind of mentality, right, of kind of structured, simplify, keep them all to the outside, protect the house kind of mentality could go really far in the playoffs.
What do you think, Dylan?
I don't think it benefits us. I think that the problem is we're such an inconsistent team that we don't even, with him, I don't think we were good. Without making certain moves, I don't think we were good enough as it was to go through the playoffs. And I don't know if you had Bratt play at the top of his and Nico at the same time, not one guy, scored and the other guy not score. And like the team would really have to come together. I don't think we've really seen this year where they've done that as a full unit early on. And that's why we're still in this thing, But now I haven't seen any consistency. So and when Jack, I just don't see how any team can be better without Jack. And
I think I'm not saying to give him.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, not better, but I just don't. I don't know how the guys we have are going to be more productive without Jack on the ice. Well,
it could be the fear. It could be the fear of we can't maybe score as much. Let's not run and gun it. Let's not take as many chances. Let's get in front, or let's keep it close. Just little things they can do in their game. And I think it's not really fair right now to say consistency, because right now they're dealing with a very fresh set of circumstances where you lose your best forward, you lost your best offensive defenseman, you lost your best defensive defenseman, essentially. That was a little bit longer ago. But the shock of Jack and Hamilton, that's still relatively new. So, you got to give a little bit of room there to develop kind of new consistency. No, all definitely. That said, I understand how inconsistent they were all year, and that really sucked.
But we have Jesper Bratt, we have Nico, yes. We have Meyer, we have guys that with these, we don't just have like a bunch of, AHL players. Like we have guys that if they all came up together, then I would believe it. But I haven't seen it all year where we've worked as this.
So they beat Columbus tonight. Nico gets on the board. Mercer gets on the board. Meyer gets on the board. Luke Hughes gets on the board. You'll feel a little bit better. Maybe these guys are showing up, and now they move forward into Edmonton on Thursday night. Maybe you go and beat them. And even when they were winning and got all the points early in the season, they still didn't win more than 3 in a row. So the inconsistency has been there for 2 years now. Of just
we have the goaltending now. That was the problem last year, was the goaltending. Now we have that.
Look, and that's the only thing right now that I'm very optimistic about. I like us down the middle. I think Mercer has been playing very well as center. And, Tim, you talked about it in the recap, how he's off the board battles now. Maybe he can get a little bit more open ice. Did you freeze again, dude?
I did.
No.
So
So
now we really can't tell because you got head trauma. You could just be
yeah,
relaxing.
you look like you'd actually just passed out.
I'm actually I'm having a stroke.
Just make sure you talk like every 30 seconds.
Literally,
So
yeah,
that's
so
why I
you
turned off
don't
this
have to-
camera.
You don't have to call.
Just in the background,
911.
just like, I'm okay.
That's it. We should give you a bell just to ring it occasionally, just like Breaking Bad, ding ding. But Jesper Bratt, he's a guy that now he's on the third line tonight. All right, so I don't know if you know everybody. We did see the lines, right? It's Hala. I mean, the first line is Meyer, Heischer, and Nason. Thank you. Second line is Mercer,
Palat,
Palat, and Tatar.
which has actually been those three, for whatever reason, were actually a pretty good line. I actually kind of liked what I saw from them.
And then the third line,
Mercer's been a whole new fucking player
right?
over the past
He's been
3 or 4 games.
So
like when he hit the post against the Flyers, I was like, what the hell was that?
that was a hell of a shot.
It was a fucking rocket. I was like, where the fuck has that been all?
That's right.
And
We
the-
did hit
and
a few
this is-
posts too that night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
I
I
mean,
forgot
we
about
have
that.
the defense, we have the goaltending. Now down the middle with Cody Glass, we've gotten better. So these are things that teams go far in the playoffs when they have these things. Now, again, can they put it together and play, like Bobby said, as a consistent unit where they do? And I think the key word going forward is simplify. Just simplify everything. You get a puck on your stick with a lane, get it to the net, and get bodies in front. That's it. Hockey 101. This is how they have to play.
What I liked about Sprong, and I do not understand this lineup decision, and Keefe even said it in his about Sprong's game, was he gets the puck and he throws it on net basically from everywhere. He's just a shooting threat from everywhere. And maybe if he made some defensive gaffes or fucked up defensively, I could see them taking him out. But Keefe said no, he didn't do that. He just kind of danced around the question. I truly don't understand this decision.
So who would you have taken out? Tatar or Bastion?
Palat.
Oh,
I put Palat, Mercer,
My man.
and Tatar together. I mean, rotate guys. Even give him a rest. He's a decrepit old man. Give his old Bolins a rest there. Let him take a view from the press box.
yeah. I was very surprised that Sprong was scratched.
I get they're not going to. He's an alternate captain, leadership. Gets the little areas or whatever bullshit people want to say. But no one's replacing Jack on an individual basis, and it needs to be done in kind of incremental ways and distributed across the entire lineup. A little bit more from Bratt, a little bit more from Nico, a little bit more from Timo, and we can replace that production somewhat in the aggregate. And I think that it's the fucking Moneyball scene where it's like we got 3 guys that get on base, the same rate that Giambi did, and then we replace them in the aggregate. That's what they need to do. Simplify it defensively, which like I said, their defensive structure has looked pretty good for the past couple of games. Vegas was a special teams loss. Dallas, I think they actually outplayed Dallas. Winnipeg, they got slaughtered. Throw that game out. And Philadelphia, they played good, sound, structured game with this new lineup. So, I think Glass brings a ability that just Dowling, God bless his soul, didn't have. And suddenly with that, with a little bit of life and a little bit of energy from a third line, Mercer improving to where he has, Nico showing a little bit of fire. The one guy I'm kind of looking at now to say, okay, now it's your turn to step up, put the fucking puck in the net. It's Jesper Bratt.
Yeah.
Stop falling in love with the 5-hole, man. I know it's fun and it make the goalie look bad, but he absolutely roasted that guy, broke his ankles, and had all day. He was almost surprised at how much time he had. It's like, go put that top side short. That looks cooler too.
That was it. I mean, that was wide open. I mean, you were texting it to the group chat at the same time going topside. Like, what the fuck did you go 5-hole for?
Yeah, who was the goalie? Like Kolosov or whatever his name is was leaning.
Fedosov or whatever his name is, right?
Yeah.
Fedotov. Yeah, he was leaning to his glove side.
Yeah.
Even the short side. I'm like, come on, man. So,
all right. How nervous are you about tonight's game? Because I'm very nervous. On a scale of 1 to 10, I will say that I am a solid 10 on this because a loss is fucking devastating. The win, you have 6 points now. You can breathe a little bit. You can go into that Edmonton game, maybe not clenching your stick so tight and everything. This to me is fucking DEFCON 1, red alert. I am as nervous as it gets for tonight's game. What about you guys?
I'm just terrified kind of on a personal level because I really want them to win and to start to establish themselves as a fan. I just want it to get rolling. Probably not as nervous as an analyst who can look back and realize how much time we still have and points that could be accumulated. But in the fandom of hockey, this is a playoff game. This is the biggest game of the year. That difference of separating them by 6 points and 2 when they're the feel-good story and they're the ones charging and you've been reeling, that shit plays out over long term. So I'd like to squash that right now.
Tone?
Devils win. I'm not worried. Tonight,
hell yeah,
not
Tony.
worried.
Love it.
That guy.
Not worried.
There
Tim,
he
you
is.
worried?
Tim,
I
I'm
guess.
glad you're back, man. You look like when you were frozen, it was like a casting couch video. You just look like you were nervous in front of the microphone
Always.
there.
Always goes back to
It
fucking
was
Bruin.
rough.
I do film a lot over there.
You do in the barn area.
Hey,
Yeah, that
Devil-
was that side-eye horse. It's
You like that? That's
like,
great.
Devils UK.
What you
Are
doing
you
with the
actually
cameras in
in? Are you actually in the UK, or are you just like a fan of the UK? I'm just curious because that would be pretty cool. We got to send an Uncle Pucker sticker out to England then, if that's the case.
Maybe you need to send one to
Maybe Lithuania too would be nice.
No.
Fucker.
No, Lithuania gets nothing.
Not- Christ.
Do we have a devil for tonight?
Yes.
Tony has it.
Yes, I do.
All right,
Uh-oh.
so we're gonna play.
He's getting the
Devil
glasses on. Uh-oh.
I'm
Yeah.
getting a little blind in this age.
All right, it's time to play Devil Anyone in the comments section, if you know it, just keep it to yourself. You can yell at us like, "Hey, stupid! This is easy," like
Yep.
you did last time to me and Bob. But
That's fun.
Mike Ruff's in Portugal, so we won't get him chirping us about this.
really, he's in Portugal.
I want to go to
Yeah,
Portugal.
he's fancy.
Sweet.
Portugal's
Sweet.
beautiful. Portugal's an incredible country.
I want to go to Iceland so
I am
freaking
Portuguese.
bad. Yeah, you are. You little pork chop.
No, thank you. sir.
Shimoega kutasa. That means suck my dick in Portuguese. Or does that Polish? I don't know. It's one of those. Anyway,
Similar
Anybody who would like
languages.
to reply, please email Uncle Bob.
here's a
Polish
devil
too,
you
so
know.
let's work that out.
Are we ready?
We are ready.
Yes.
Let's play a game.
Shall we play a game?
Buckle up, boys and girls. It is time for the Devil You Know on the Uncle Pucker New Jersey Devil Podcast.
Love it.
Our clue giver today, he's going to give us clues of a former New Jersey Devil player. Myself, Tim, and Bobby get 3 incorrect guesses before we are eliminated. The first one to guess the correct answer gets the point and is the winner of the game and master of the universe. Tony, the floor is yours, sir.
I always have to. I can't get stoned before I do this. It's always hard to keep everything in order.
You can
Yeah.
number them.
They are numbered actually.
Then you get really stoned.
Alphabetical, is it?
How high do you get?
They're
Jesus.
total. Oh,
I can't even
that's
read
true.
numbers anymore.
This former Devil player played for a total of 6 teams. This former Devil player played from 2000 to 2014. This former Devil played a total of 321 games in the NHL during the regular season and 19 playoff games. This former Devil is 6'1". This former Devil played 2 seasons with the New York Islanders for a total of 49 games. This former Devil also played 4 seasons at Boston College.
Travis Zajac?
No.
I don't think Zajac played for anybody other than us and the Islanders. Not 6 teams. That's what I was.
Oh
thinking.
yeah, I was just going by such a small number of
Yeah.
games. That's what threw me off there.
This former Devil was drafted 102nd overall.
What year?
I haven't got to that yet. I'll get to that eventually. This former Devil was born in Boston, Massachusetts.
Jay Pandolfo, but he didn't play for 6
No.
teams, so
No.
yeah, it's not him. I had to think of somebody.
This former Devil was a defenseman, shot left.
Lefty from Boston.
A left shooting defenseman from Boston.
Boston.
What years did he play with the Devils?
I'll get to all that.
All right.
This former Devil was drafted in 1997.
1997.
By the Devils.
By who?
I haven't got to that yet either. I have everything
Okay.
kind of done in an order where you know,
Alright.
if I tell you now to fuck it up. This former Devil played a total of 235 games for the Devils, including 17 playoff games.
17 playoffs.
I want to know from when to when.
This former Devil played his last season in 2013-14 with the Florida Panthers, playing 8 games that year.
So he played with he was with the Devils earlier in his career.
No, that'll be coming up here in a couple minutes. In a minute. This former Devil point total in the NHL was 7 goals and 51 assists for 58 points during his career.
Seeming like a kind of minor guy here.
With 235 games with the Devils, so he had a.
My goodness.
This former Devil was drafted by the Rangers.
He was drafted by the Rangers. He never played for the Rangers, or did he?
I haven't got that. I'll come up too. He also
Okay.
played a total of 526 regular season AHL games.
What number was he drafted again? What did you say? 102?
He was
In
182.
1997.
182, 1997.
He's a Boston
1
guy?
defenseman, born in Boston. Played for played for Boston College. 102nd overall. This former
anything
Devil
else?
also played with the Calgary Flames and the Boston Bruins. So his 6 teams then would be the Rangers, Flames, Devils, Boston, Florida, and Islanders. I got more too, so
You're stumping us, dude.
Yeah. I am stumped right now.
Mike
This
Motto.
former- Yep.
Mike Motto.
Mike Motto.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking remember Mike Motto.
Yeah, he's
He
supposed
was
to
with
be
the Devils
on-
for 3 years.
Yeah.
didn't know he
Okay.
was a Boston
Hey,
guy.
Mike Rupp is back from Portugal. What's up, buddy?
What?
Well, there he is.
I guess they have internet in Portugal. This is crazy.
Or did you come back just for the live show?
Came back. I hope he's watching the game tonight. Who was it again? Mike Motto.
Motto.
Mike Motto. yeah.
Motto.
Man, I need to
God,
get one
yeah,
of
yeah,
these.
that was a deep cut.
All right, then Tim, you pick. You do the devil you know for the next show.
All right.
Yeah, that was a deep cut. Where the hell did you come up with Mike?
I figured,
Motto?
hey, 235 games. The
I-
Devils had some playoff games with them.
Yeah.
So that was I played against him a lot.
Mike Motto.
Hang on.
Tim, you with
How
us?
come he gets to say that kind of shit? And
That
we'd
he
be like,
disappears
well, I was
in
at Frankie and
some
Johnny's a
suspense.
lot.
Because he doesn't know us. So that fact that he's lying about it, we can't say that he's called bullshit on it. Like if I say it, you go, no, you fucking didn't.
No.
'cause
Well, what do
knew
you
me
mean you
since I
played
was
with him? Is
13.
this like?
I played against
It
him a
mean-
lot, just like when we were
Okay.
kids.
Oh, I thought you
So,
guys just like
I
wrestled
knew.
and
Yeah, I thought you were touching
I-
or something.
thought you had a very
hockey.
special
No,
episode
I-
with Mike Motto.
For fuck's sake.
Okay,
yeah,
hold on a second.
We did a lot of casting couch together.
That's what we're saying.
Was this in
Right.
like
Tony-
tournaments and stuff?
Tony was
Because
behind the camera.
He was up in Boston, and you were down here.
Yeah,
in
like
Northeast.
tournaments. Like there's this big recruiting tournament called Hockey Night in Boston, and he was kind of one of the bigger up and coming names. I guess he's probably a year younger than me. Like my draft year would have been
He's
1996.
46 now.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
my
you're
draft year
younger.
was 96. He was 97. So he was like one of the kind of younger studs around.
Can
there,
you
so.
call it your
Go
draft year if you don't get
Go ahead,
drafted?
Bob. That's the way you put. I saw the wheels going.
I don't know how
I
that
said
works.
my draft year would have been
I
1996.
said my draft year was
Mine would have
96.
been 97 as well, but they weren't recruiting street hockey players.
I mean, fuck you guys.
No, I actually.
Sorry
I'm
you don't know
curious.
how to skate, Bob.
No,
Jesus.
I don't. How good are you at hockey? This is like you
Bobby's
sound
a
like
gymnast.
I was
close.
very, very good until I was about 15 and didn't grow.
wow.
Yeah,
I
that
was
sucks. Were you a
getting-
smoker?
Yes.
I often
In the
think if I
womb?
didn't smoke, would I be taller? I
No,
don't know
my,
if that's
No,
true.
I don't
my mom was 4'11". I wasn't getting
Mine-
anywhere.
How tall is
I'm
your father?
6'2". I smoke.
My dad was 5'9".
Tony ain't no
Okay,
6'2".
Bobby's
My
like,
father is 6'2", but my mother was only 5 feet tall, so
Yeah.
I'm right in
Who
the
was
middle
it?
there.
My
Was it
grandfather
DJ?
was 6'7", and in 2 generations we went to from 6'7" to
You
5'7".
all became fucking hobbits.
great.
basically.
Can't
Was
look
it
forward to
DJ
that.
last week that asked?
Yeah, but I
if
could
was,
fit and
like,
coach pretty
6'4"?
comfortably.
It was DJ.
It
Yeah,
was DJ. I think we totally missed what he was going for there. Like if I could actually skate and help the team out. Well, we answered like, "No, I'm 6 foot. I can't fucking skate." But I missed a great opportunity for a joke there. You know, somebody asked me if I'm 6'4". I just say, "Nah, just all these fuckers are so short, makes me look bigger."
that's true. We
It's
are.
true.
Even on the fucking video, you could tell that Bob's the tallest one. All right, so Tony, you are extremely confident about tonight.
Yeah, man. What else? What do we got to lose? You
2
know,
points.
you never. It's-
Playoff spot.
No,
Not
you
that,
have to
not
win
yet.
these games. If you don't win these games, you can't it's like the Flyers
Well-
game. I was stressed out during that game a little bit. And I was like, man, you have to beat this team to be able to beat
Like,
other
this
teams.
game-
You have to
Like
win
this is going to show us what the team's made of. Like
Yeah.
this is going to show us their mettle, whether or not they are willing to do the work that needs to get done. All right, I like your optimism, Mike.
As Severson
um,
puts a bullet in the back of our head with 3
Oh,
seconds left in the
God.
game.
I have to say, I'm the new defenseman. What's his name?
Cholowski,
No, the other one,
The Islanders.
Dumoulin.
Dumoulin. Very good on that stretch breakout pass. Like we haven't had a defenseman that can actually hit that pass since Severson left. So I'm kind of,
Luke and Dougie were pretty good at him, but
but he's
he's-
good at it.
yeah, that's one of his things. He's a good first pass out of
First
the zone.
pass, get it out of the
reliable, yeah.
zone, and that's I so far I didn't mind him. I didn't mind either defenseman, the new guy, Chowalski and I know it's
Wazowski.
not his name.
See
whatever
Mike
his name
Russ
is.
predicting a 5-3 win, Chris, on here.
Yeah, Mike's saying 5-3. All right, so since Mike's doing it, what do you guys got? Give me some scores.
I think it's going to be a
5-3.
battle.
I see 5-3 could be.
I think it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be another one of those where we're fighting till the end with another open. It's going to look just like the last game. It's going to be 3-1 with an empty netter.
5-4. I'm gonna say.
You're saying a win, Bob? You're saying a win?
Yeah,
Tone?
yeah, win. Yeah.
Okay, 3-1, 5-1. 5-1, Tone?
No, I said 5-4, right? I said-
5-4. Okay.
Yeah, because Mike's got 5-3, which does make sense. I could totally picture it being 5-3, but I'm gonna. If Bobby could be right too, or it could be a come down to the end. I'm gonna say 5-4, just to be a little different, just to mix it up.
I think you could be in a fucking cave somewhere, Mike, and your internet would be better than Tim's. He already had to get off and come back on. So, Tim, what's your pick
Frozen
on the
again?
game?
Oh, apparently my internet's breaking because I said the same thing that Mike did. I think 5-3 is actually the exact right number.
I really don't know. Like, I don't like. I could see us. I see a world where we play this great, super tight game. We capitalize on some chances. We keep the Blue Jackets in check. We, win, like you say, maybe 4-2, 5-3, something like that. But then I can just see us being down 3-0 in 10 minutes into this game. So I don't fucking know. I guess because Cholowski with the game winner. All right,
1-0,
Dubs.
yeah.
I'll
Tim's
take it.
back in-
I'm gonna say 3. Bobby, you said 3-1.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that. I'll say 4-2 then, just because empty netter. I guess 4-2. Maybe we win. I don't know. I have no confidence in this team. I just need to see them do this for. Just give me a week. Just do it for a fucking week. And All right, Tim, what's going on? Are you back?
I'm
what are you
here.
doing?
Yeah, man, I've
Okay.
been here the whole time. Just
I didn't know
in,
you
like,
left
I
because
was
you
in, like,
never left
ghost-
the screen.
I was in like ghost mode.
Yeah, you
I don't
were in
know.
ghost mode. All right.
My
So
head itches. I got to change this bandage.
Oh my God, you really do look like a mess right now.
Thanks,
Like,
Chris. Appreciate
no,
that.
I mean you look like a guy that had a severe head injury, but instead you only got 3 little staples.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
2 wins in
You
a
got
row
the
would
devil,
be phenomenal. What?
Well,
You got the devil, right? So
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
The brain's working, Tim.
You ask me any American who was like drafted in like the mid '90s, I will get, because those are the guys that like I knew of and was like playing against or was aware of. Like Drury, I played against a lot, and like one of my more embarrassing moments is him just absolutely putting me in a fucking pretzel in the corner. I remember watching him from like off the ice, watching him and being like, "This guy's not that good." And then he like turned me into a pretzel in the corner, and I was like, "Oh, he is actually really good shit." Um, yeah, that was kind of
Great.
one of the first couple times that like college coaches stopped calling me.
Not a great general manager though.
I don't
I'm
know,
just
man.
saying.
He's turned over he's got rid of a lot of the issues that they were having and kind of I think set them up. He set them up that he has to have a big off season, I think. But we'll see what kind of patience Dolan has.
Well, someone else has to have a big off season too, and it's across the river. Tom Fitzgerald has got to have a big off season.
Do you want to take a look at where we sit next year, by the way? Because I
Sure.
made a chart.
Throw it on up.
Hang on.
And
I gotta
what
open it
exactly is
first
this
and
chart?
It's the salary chart.
What our 25, 26, what what we have
Probably not charting
No.
it today.
salary.
No. No.
wise.
No.
Oh God! Now you
No.
sound like you
I'm
got a
gonna break my
mechanical
fucking
brain
computer.
injury.
All right. Well, I seem to have.
yeah, his
He's
hand
half
up to his
man
mouth,
now.
All right. Let's see if this works. I'm probably gonna break my computer, but
All right.
hang on.
Hanging on.
All right.
Yeah. Bing bong. Bing bing bong.
Be a good time to read one of
All
those
right,
ads, Chris.
and I got it.
You
I
got
got it. I got it.
Oh, there we go.
All right. There it is.
All
Oh,
right.
wait.
So, in the forward core, we got Timo, Jack, Brad, Nico, Palat, Mercer, Holla, Nason, and I added Glass at 2.5 and Sprong at $1 million. We also have McDermott and Cotter. So that's 12
Real quick,
forwards.
before you go any further, I don't know what is the term for both Sprong and Glass.
What do you mean?
How many years do we have them? What's their contract?
Glass is an RFA. Sprong will be a UFA. So they
So
both need to
Sprong is
be,
a rental, and Glass we have
under control.
we have to match that. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
so
you.
Gonzo, Nate Lazar. Oops, I kept Sprong in here. Nate Lazar, Dowling. Those guys are probably gone. So Sprong, Glass, maybe we keep. Tuna would be another guy that we could maybe hang on to, maybe not. Then we'll have Gritzik, Hamaniho, Hallinan within the organization, and then Hadaka on defense. Dougie Pesci, you know the D. Dougie Pesci,
Mhm.
Dylan Siegs, Kovacevic, and then I put Luke in at 8.5. That's kind of middle of the road
Where he's
projection
tracking.
for what his
I
contract
think
gonna
that's
look
fair.
like based on his comps. Like Jake Sanderson makes 8.5, and that's probably the best comp for him.
And what did what's his name get from Minnesota last year? They extended him.
I think it
around
was like 8.2,
8.3, 8.2 around there. Yeah, a favor.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so
that's a good comp, Tim.
it's basically like Jack plus inflation.
Right.
And then Nemec and Casey are still in their ELCs. Goalies will have Markey and Dawes. I do like what I've seen from Allen, but bear in mind Allen's actual contract is $3.8 million. We're only paying a portion of that.
Allen won't be back.
Allen, I don't think will be back, so I pegged him at $4 million down here. So what is that? That leaves us at 94.4 million if we sign all of those guys. Right?
If we sign $1,000, we can't even buy a lawnmower.
No, that's $1 million. That's $1 million. It's in everything.
Oh, okay.
Everything's in millions.
Yeah.
So the cap is going to be 95. The cap's going to be 95.5. So
Right.
So
Okay.
that is $95 million. So that leaves us some roster construction that we have to do, assuming we re-sign some of these guys and we don't have Allen. So over here, you look at I looked at the buyout numbers for 3 guys: Dougie, Palat, Holla. Dougie, I think, still has some juice in him, and I think this is just a buyout, but I think we're probably going to need to trade him, and
Yeah,
I think we can find a team that is, and I think this is the way we keep Nemec around. I think if we trade Dougie to say San Jose, who's going to have to hit the salary floor, and Dougie still has some juice left in his game, probably, that's $9 million off the cap. Plot, send him to the moon along with Hala, and if we do that, they're combined. What we would be paying them to buy them out would be 1.4 to Palat for 3 years, and then Hala would be 800 for a couple of years, and we'd save $4.5 million and 2.3 million for them. And then
so
McDermott,
we would have around 2.1, 2.2 if we were to buy those two out of dead cap money for 2 seasons. For 2 years,
we would have $6.86 million in. Yes.
Right.
You're
so
right.
3 million of dead cap per year for 2 years.
Basically,
right.
yes.
Okay. For however long their contract lasts.
I threw McDermott in here. I don't know what we're doing with McDermott. Like the guy, I feel like died a couple weeks ago and nobody told us. Like he hasn't seen the light of day.
Burning him.
He hasn't
hanging out in the fucking press box.
Like
I don't
know.
think Keith likes him,
waving
maybe.
his
I
hand
don't know.
around.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with him. We all thought the 3-year term was probably a little much, but I added him to this. We can keep buy it or leave it. So that gives us actually. So if we trade Dougie, get rid of Palat and Hala, buy them out, we'll probably have about $16 million more.
Okay.
So keeping their dead cap hits on plus what we have, that probably leaves us with about $13.5 million to then actually spend on UFAs.
Okay.
So that's kind of the quick math on it. I started putting together some targets, Kyrou in a trade, Brady Tkachuk in a trade. I think P.S. Suter, who's a UFA, would actually be a very good 4th-line center to come in.
Actually,
so
2 guys on there that I think you should put on there as well as possible targets. Fight me with if you want, but
and we can add to this as we go and play with it. I just whipped this together before.
I mean, look, if you really have 13.5 in cap money, and that's with signing Luke to his extension, and you have some available cap room, and if this team can put something together to make this any kind of viable destination for a UFA wanting to come and sign, I still think EP40's got gas in his tank, and I think he can, nobody in the NHL, I think, needs a change of scenery more than Pettersson. So I would put him on the targets, and I would put Mitch Marner on the target. Why the hell not? I mean, it might take up all of your 13.5, but it's Mitch Marner. Can you imagine Mitch and Jack playing together? I mean, I'm just saying.
Marner,
you guys
probably 14 million.
Probably 14, and Pettersson's under contract, I think, at like 11 and change right now for another 7 or 6 years. So what do you guys think of any other free agents or UFAs that you would want to sign? Oh, Sam Bennett's another guy I would go after.
Yes.
Mike Ruff says Mac Daddy can just go to the minors. No point in buying him out.
Right.
Yeah, we could bury him in the minors. That is something we could do.
Yeah. No to EP40, huh? You don't think, Mike, seriously, though, with a change of scenery, I mean, his skill level is there. I just think he hates being in Vancouver. I don't think he's being treated right there, or he doesn't think he's being treated right there. And I think there's a lot of gas in that tank. Not my first option, but I wouldn't be against it. How about you guys?
Listen, if we found a way to fit on the team, I think it would be an asset, but that's going to be straight money, most likely. This isn't going to be a retaining situation or anything. So we probably got to trade off.
You're going to have to give something up to get him and then take all of his contracts. So
you have to take all of his contracts. So that's kind of the thing. If it's 6 or 7 years left at 11 something, a little risky towards the end. They always are. But he's a hell of a player.
I don't know. My biggest concern, not really like I think he's going to potentially get better, but I think a lot of it hinges on what's going on with his knee. I think his knee is, I think there's a serious problem there. He's lost a lot of his jump. He's lost a lot of his shot. I think he's a little bit of a mental midget. I don't know. I'm not really sold on him, but he still probably has the ability to be a high end guy, and the salary scares the shit out of me. But other than that, I think it's worth kicking the tires. Is
right.
Fitz loves to do.
For me personally, Bennett, Brady, Kyrou, Marner, those are the guys I would go after. and try and get one of those guys. What about you at all those UFAs, Tone? I mean, I know we have all
Well,
summer
obviously
to talk
Brady,
about this.
obviously Brady. My second would be Reiner, but I
Who?
besides that, I don't know. I'd
Marner?
have to
Is that who you said?
Reinhardt.
Oh, Reiner.
Reinhardt.
I think a
Yeah.
lot
Reinhardt.
depends. I
No,
think
he's not. He's
Yeah, I
not.
don't think he's
He's
going
signed.
anywhere.
They just locked. You mean Sam Bennett?
No, Sam Bennett. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Bennett and Brady would be the two that I would. Of
Imagine
course,
getting both of those dudes.
Brady's like the dream player for this team because it's exactly what we need. We've said this a million times. Obviously, it's like everybody else. We know this. But yeah, him and Bennett. Besides that, I don't know. The other guy's not interested.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
look,
I'd be interested in Marner.
you move Brat for Brady. Oh, and the other guy that I'd love to now target, who's now on Ottawa, is Zetterlund. Like to bring him back for a middle third line type of role. Like package Brady and Zetterlund. Send out Brat and Mercer.
Ruff
I
just go ahead. I'm sorry. Tom.
I saw something the other. So you talk about Zetterlund. I think it was. So I don't know if this is true or not. I think I saw it on one of the Devils pages, but I think Zetterlund won't sign Devils items, and Blackwood's the same way now. So I wonder if there's some kind of like
Really?
bitterness towards the Devils.
Sounds
And
like
I don't
it.
know. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I did read.
Well, fuck them if they can't take a joke.
Yeah.
I was just going to make that point before that Ruff just made. I was just about to say that. Like, if Brady Tkachuk is ever going to be an option, they cannot make the playoffs this year. Ottawa cannot. They have got to have another year.
They have to, and it
right.
doesn't look. It doesn't look. I mean, I think the ship is about to sail on that.
All right, I think everybody's against EP40. I mean, I just threw him in because I do think he's a guy that can be a very valuable player in the right situation. But as far as the UFAs that are available, he would be one of the. Well, he's not even oh, is he? No, he's not a free agent. He's just Vancouver's looking to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if we were going to make any kind of trade, for me, it would be you got to go after Brady, do whatever you can. UFAs, I mean, Bennett, Marner, guy like that. I mean, I think Sam Bennett, as far as should be your top UFA to go try and get.
Yeah, and I
more
think Tony brought it up before. It's like, and the way I kind of look at it is we have skill and we have heaviness, but we don't have heavy skill. Maybe a little bit with Timo, but like we need to kind of add a little bit more of that heavy skill.
Yeah.
And get rid of some of the heavy that's worthless. So that's what I like about Bennett. Kyrou plays a good
Another one,
game.
yeah. I like Jordan Cairo too.
Yeah.
If St. Louis is
like
looking to move off of him.
What still frustrates me about what Fitz didn't get at the deadline, and God knows what we were in or out on, but the deals that I think he could have done were the two deals that Ottawa did to get Zetterlund and to get Cousins. Like, there's no reason we couldn't have been in on those.
I think he got so fucking laser focused on Mikko Rantanen that he did not. He was doing everything he can to try and get Rantanen here. Now, to me, that's a non-starter. Like, they're not going to trade him to a division rival, especially a team that you're most likely about to face in 6 weeks in the playoffs. So that didn't make a ton of sense. But he kept on saying, like, we were really close on one guy. It was Rantanen. And he was going hard. I think he got so laser focused. Like, think about what would have happened 2 years ago if everybody knew Devils are going after Timo. He was the only guy that he was focused on. He was lucky enough to get it, made the deal. And okay, no harm, no foul. But when you're watching everything else, instead of just moving off of it, like you said, you've made a great point, Tim, that Glass and Sprong could have been here earlier for less. And you got a guy like Zetterlund, who definitely would help a bottom six, and you let him just go to Ottawa for nothing. And that was my biggest. Like, I don't have any faith in Fitz. I said it on the last show. This team does anything. It's in spite of him. I still think he should be fucking fired.
Plus, I mean, our trade value, like, we don't have much. I felt like
it's got to be one of the big guys, Tone.
We didn't have much like trade pieces really for, I think that I don't even know if, when Jack gets hurt, I don't know what the ownership tells him, because I don't know what we'd have to give up to get some of these quality players like Chris is saying too, because, our guys that were worth something when the season started right now, I don't think they're worth that much. I mean,
but every
trade
team
Dawes, you'll get something for Dawes, but do you want to give Dawes up?
No, but I mean, would get rid of Brat.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I would send Brad to Ottawa with a package together for Brady Kachuk.
It's-
yeah, but I don't think I think Ottawa's going to do whatever they can do to keep him. I mean,
Yeah, I
mean,
know
look,
it's going to come down to him wanting to be out.
Yeah.
I think that's what it could.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is. And the second they make the playoffs and he puts his mark on the playoffs, I think that dream is dead.
Yep, I agree. Guys, we got about a half hour, a little less before the game. Anything that you guys want to touch on before we wrap this
No.
night up?
Please don't lose, you fucking assholes. Like,
Bob, anything? Anything, Bobby?
good.
Come on. This
No.
is huge,
Oh.
boys.
I was very, very vindicated to see
Yes.
my best buddy, Steve Valiquette, his tweet when the Rangers were when the Columbus kicked the extra point against the Rangers. I was so happy to see his tweet. Be like, come on, guys. What the fuck?
I've
fucking
never been more
smug
prouder of
loser.
a pucker in my life. Yeah, he wrote a tweet, like he put a tweet out. What did it say exactly? It was like,
it's like, come on, guys.
you know,
Just
yeah,
like,
what
come
the
on,
fuck,
man,
you
what the fuck?
guys, yeah, something like that, yeah. So he was,
And he
was
spelled
not
come
happy.
on. Come on isn't a
Yeah,
you put apostrophe in there. He spelled a common. Like
He's both
you
com-
fucking
Well, this is why I originally thought he was calling you out. I thought he was saying, "Hey, common guy, what the fuck?" He was actually just saying, "Come on, guys," referring to the Rangers sucking.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
But at
because
first,
it
I
is,
thought we actually got his attention. He was coming after you. I was like,
I
"Ooh,
was
that's
like, oh,
money in the
no.
bank, man."
absolutely.
that's what happened to your fucking head.
Yo, did Valley fucking throw a hit on you? Was John Giannone over with a fucking baseball bat?
What did I do?
Shows up at your door like Jay and Silent Bob. Yo, bitch, I heard you've been talking shit.
On poopshoot.com.
Ow, ow,
All right, we're
Don't,
gonna,
don't make him
sorry.
laugh.
I gotta
Don't
stop
make him
laughing.
laugh.
Just
Put his head open.
All right. So for Tim's ailing head, the Devils need to win today because I think any
Please.
extra stress can, cause, I don't know, blackouts or something. Tim, I'm worried about you. All right. So we're gonna wrap this thing up. Yeah, this is a huge game, man. This is playoff shit. They gotta fucking win tonight, and I have a very, very bad feeling about it. But I'm a nervous Nelly.
And that's why
So-
in 3 hours we're either going to look really stupid or really smart. That's how it
Oh,
goes.
we
How it
kind of
goes.
we didn't say, like, there were a lot of times we were like, no, man, they're gonna whoop the win,
Yep.
go in and kick
Confident
the
as
shit.
shit.
And then they were like, okay, they lost by 6 goals. We suck.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. But
Cody,
Again,
Cody Glass scores the first one again. That's what I'm going to bet tonight.
I mean, he played a good game. Keep it up.
Yeah,
Keep it
let's
up.
go.
Maybe this can turn into something, but I'm not holding my breath. Guys, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us again tonight. This is also always a lot of fun chilling with you guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel wherever you're listening. A 5-star review, positive comment helps the little podcast that could. For Tim, Bobby, Tony, I'm Chris. We're the Uncle Puckers. Be kind to yourself and each other. We'll see you when we see you.
Okay, Jerry.
Cry,
What
you
did he
little
used to
bitch,
say?
Valiquette.
What did he used to say?
Some shit
Be-
like that.
Like, I keep in touch with yourself and others. How's that?
That's not what they told me in health class.
Didn't they catch him with some guests in some of those hookers in the hotel?
What was
room?
the name? What was the name of the fucking bouncer? Steve. Everyone
Steve.
used to fucking always just root for
God.
Steve. All right,
Yeah.
all right, we're out. Later.
It's over, Johnny. It's over!